In earlier lectures, we discussed closed sets, closure and interior of a set. We define the closure of a set by the intersection of all closed set containing A, where A is subset of a topological space X. Also, if A is subset of topological space X, then A is contained in closure of A. This is important region. And also, if A is equal to closure of A, then set A must be closed. So let's have one example from the exercise. Then we discuss limit points and Hausdorff spaces. Let A and B denote subsets of a space X. Then prove the following things. If A is contained in B, then closure of A is contained in closure of B. Closure of A union B is equals to closure of A union closure of B. So we have to prove these two things where A and B are subsets of topological space X. So let's have solution. So first prove we A statement. So what we have given, A is contained in B, and we know that if B is subset of topological space X, then B is contained in closure of B. So that's why B is contained in closure of B. And this closure of the set, whatever the set closure of B is, it is always closed sets. So since closure of B is closed set which contains A, then it must contains closure of A. So thus closure of A is contained in closure of B, because A is contained in closure of B, and we know that as this closure of B is closed set which containing A, that's why the closure of A must contain in closure of B. So this proof is straightforward. So let's have statement B. Since closure of A and closure of B, these are closed sets in X, it follows that closure of A union closure of B is also closed in X. Union of closed set is closed. Also we know that A is contained in closure of A and B is contained in closure of B. So that's why this implies A union B is contained in closure of A union closure of B. So here we proved A union B is contained in closure of A union closure of B. So as we know that closure of any set is closed sets, so here closure of A and closure of B are closed sets, and we know that union of closed set is closed. So that's why closure of A union closure of B bar is closed in X. Also we know that closure of A contains that set itself. So A is contained in closure of A and B is contained in closure of B. That's why this implies A union B is contained in closure of A union closure of B. So here we proved A union B contains closure of A union closure of B. Now we will prove closure of A union closure of B contained in A union B. So therefore closure of A union closure of B bar contains the closure of A union B. Thus this implies closure of A union B is contained in closure of A union closure of B. Conversely, it is clearly A is contained in A union B. So it is straightforward, and A union B is contained in closure of A union B. So as closure of A contains that set itself, that's why A union B is contained in closure of A union B. So by part A, whatever we proved by using part A. What was part A? So if A contain B, then closure of A is contained in closure of B bar. So using that part A, closure of A is contained in closure of A union B, because A is contained in closure of A union B. That's why closure of A is contained in closure of A union B. Similarly, we can prove closure of B is contained in closure of A union B. As similarly here B is contained in A union B, which is contained in closure of A union B. Similarly, by using part A, closure of B is contained in closure of A union B. So therefore, if we take its union, it implies closure of A union closure of B is contained in closure of A union B. So in earlier we proved closure of A union B is contained in closure of A union closure of B. Now we proved closure of A union closure of B is contained in closure of A union B. So using these two inequalities, we state closure of A union B is equals to closure of A union closure of B. So this completes the solution. Now let's have definition of limit points. If A is a subset of topological space X, and if X is a point of topological space X, then we say that X is a limit point of subset A if every neighborhood of X intersects A in some point other than X itself. That is, X is limit point of A if it belongs to the closure of A minus this element X. So definition: suppose X is topological space and A is its subset, then any point X, small x, belongs to topological space X is said to be limit point of this subset A if every neighborhood of this point X, every neighborhood of this point X intersects A in some point other than X. It means intersection of neighborhood of small x, say U. So let U be neighborhood of this element X from topological space X. So this U intersects with A minus this singleton X must be non-empty. This must be non-empty. It means the intersection of neighborhood of X with set A contains points other than this X, small x. So here I exhibited, suppose U is neighborhood of this small x, then intersection of this neighborhood with A minus X means other than this element X from topological space X contains another element other than this X. It means intersection of U and set A minus X is non-empty where U is neighborhood of X. So in this case we say that this X is a limit point of set A. So remember definition again, I will explain. This is an important concept, limit points. In on real line we discussed this limit point. So it is on space we are discussing. Suppose X is topological space and A is its subspace, then any point X from topological space X is limit point of this subset A if neighborhood of X, that is U, intersect with A minus singleton X must be non-empty. In what they describe this as, every neighborhood of X intersects A in some point other than X. Remember here they use word every neighborhood. So you have to check for every possible neighborhood of X. Don't stop on countable neighborhoods. If you take only one neighborhood and check, then this condition satisfies. It doesn't mean that X in this case is neighborhood, limit point, because here you have to check for every neighborhood of X. So if this happens, then we say that this small x is a limit point of subset A of topological space X. So let's have some examples. On the real line R, so R is set of real numbers. if a is equals to half open interval 0 comma 1, then the point 0 is limit point of a. So here a is subset of R. If we take neighborhood of 0, so here this 0 does not belongs to a. If we take, it doesn't matter. So remember this, whether this x belongs to, x maybe belongs to a or x may not be belongs to a. So limit point is either either belongs to that subset a or may not belongs to subset a. It doesn't matter. So as here 0 does not belongs to a, still it is a limit point, but 0 belongs to R. So here a is equals to 0 comma close interval 1. So if I take neighborhood of 0 then and intersect with this a, then I got infinitely many elements, because that neighborhood of 0 contains uncountable rational numbers. In the neighborhood of 0, there I found uncountable number of irrational number, also countable number of countable rational numbers. So neighborhood contains, I mean to say, neighborhood of this intersecting with a contains infinitely many points other than 0. That's why 0 is a limit point. Suppose if I pick up some element 1 by 2, some element 1 by 2 belongs to R. So if I take neighborhood of 1 by 2, then it contains infinitely many points other than 1 by 2 after intersecting with this set A. So that's why 1 by 2 is also neighborhood. Similarly, if I take 1, so 1 is also neighborhood of this set A. So in fact 1 is also limit point of this set A. So in fact close interval 0 comma 1 is the set of all limit points of this set A. So all the possible limit points of A are lies in between 0 and 1. Also 0 and 1 are limit points of this set A. Now next example, if B is equals to the set 1 by n where n belongs to z plus. Z plus means set of natural number. So if I click on this set, so it is, this set look like 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4. As value of n increases, it goes to where 0, but it does not goes to beyond 0, means minus 1 by 2, minus 1 by 3. So all it goes to 0, from 1 to 0. 1 for n is equals to, it is 1 by 2, n is equals to 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 4. So as soon as value of n increases, it goes to 0. So and if I take its neighborhood, then 0 is the only limit point of B and no other point of R is limit point of B. So in sequence also we know that limit of a sequence, suppose if I treat this set as a sequence 1 by n, and we know that limit of a sequence is a limit point of a sequence. So as n tends to infinity, this sequence 1 by n goes to 0. So 0 is limit, that's why 0 is limit point. So limit of a sequence is also limit point, but this concept is different. So here we are in topological space, we are discussing limit point on space. Now here, if C is equals to singleton 0 union 1 by 2, then the limit points of C are close interval 1 by 2. So here 0 is not limit point, here 0 is not limit point. If I take neighborhood of 0 and intersect with this set C, then I found intersection only 0. But what it says, definition says every neighborhood of x intersects A in some point other than x itself. So here if I take U is equals to neighborhood of this 0 intersecting with C minus 0. C minus 0 means what? C minus 0 means only open interval 1 by 2. So neighborhood of 0 intersecting with 1 by 2. This is empty set, so this condition is not satisfied. That's why 0 is not a limit point. So in this case, limit points of C are only close interval 1, 2. Now suppose if Q is the set of rational numbers, then every point of R is limit point of set of rational numbers. Suppose if I take any arbitrary real number A and I take some neighborhood, say for some delta greater than 0, I take neighborhood of A as A minus delta, A plus, open interval A minus delta, A plus delta. If I intersect this open interval with Q minus A, then I found this intersection is non-empty. Why? Because an interval contains infinite number of rationals and irrationals. So this intersection must contains points other than A. So therefore every real number is limit point of set of rational numbers. If Z plus, that is set of natural number, is the set of positive integer, has no limit point. This set has no limit points. So set of all limit points of Z plus is empty set. Set of all limit points of Q is R. Set of all limit points of this set C is close interval 1, t. And set of all limit points of this set B is singleton 0. Set of all limit points of this set A is close interval 0, 1. So similarly here, set of limit points of positive integers is empty set. Why it is empty set? So Z plus contains set 1, 2, 3 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. These are the elements. If I take neighborhood of 1, and intersect with Z minus 1, then intersection must be empty. Why? Because in the set of natural numbers or set of positive integer, if I take neighborhood of 1, then in that neighborhood there is only one element, that is 1. And if I omit this element after taking intersection in this condition, then this must be empty set. That's why set of positive integers has no limit points. If R plus is the set of all positive integers, R plus means real numbers greater than 0, then singleton 0 union R plus is limit point of R plus. So R plus, in fact R plus means interval 0 to infinity, open interval 0 to infinity. So in this case, the set of all limit points of positive real numbers is 0 union R plus. So if we observe here, in first example 0 is limit point of this set, but 0 does not belongs to A. Here also 0 is limit point of this set B, but 0 does not belongs to set B. Here also 1 and 2 are also limit points of this set, but 1 and 2 does not belongs to set A. So limit point does not belong to the subset of a topological space X. Remember this, limit point need not be a member of subset of topological space X. So this is the limit points. So another way to define a limit point is that any member X of a topological space X is limit point if every neighborhood of X contains at least one member of A, where A is subset of topological space X. So any member X of subset A of topological space X is limit point if every neighborhood of X contains at least one member of set A other than X. This is also definition. Now let's have one theorem. Let A be a subset of the topological space X. Let A dash be the set of all limit points. So this A dash, A prime, let A prime be the set of all limit points of A. Then closure A is equal to A union A prime. So A prime means set of all limit points, and the set of all limit points is called derived set. Means A prime means this is a derived set. So set of all limit points is called derived set. So A prime means derived set. So as here, derived set of A is closed interval 0, 1. Derived set of B is singleton 0. Derived set of C is closed interval 1, 2. Derived set of Q is R. Derived set of Z plus is empty set. Derived set of R plus is singleton 0 union R plus. Similarly, derived set of real number. Derived set of real number is that set itself. So here A is subset of topological space X and A prime be the set of all limit points of A. Then closure of A is equal to A union A prime. Sorry. Let's have proof. So before proving this, we have discussed in earlier lecture. Suppose if A is a subset of topological space X, then X belongs to closure of A if and only if every neighborhood of X intersects A. So whenever every neighborhood of X, suppose every neighborhood U of X intersects A, then X must belongs to closure of A and vice versa. So here we assume if X belongs to A prime means derived set, that is set of all limit points. So here X is limit point of A. Then by definition, if X is limit point of A, then every neighborhood of U of X intersects A in a point different from X by definition of limit points. So here we assume X is limit point. So by definition of limit points, every neighborhood U of X intersects A in a point different from X. And if every neighborhood of X intersects A, then X belongs to closure of A. So using that, this X belongs to closure of A. Hence, A prime is contained in closure of A. Here we taken X from A prime and showed X belongs to closure of A. That's why A prime is contained in closure of A. Also by definition of closure of a set, A is contained in closure of A. Now here A prime is contained in closure of A and A is contained in closure of A. That's why A union A prime is contained in closure of A. This we obtain. Now we prove closure of A is contained in A union A prime. So suppose X belongs to closure of A, and if X is member of A, here X belongs to closure of A, and here either X belongs to A or X need not belongs to A. So first we assume, suppose X belongs to A. So then trivially X belongs to A union A prime. Then trivially X belongs to A union A prime, because if X belongs to A prime, if X belongs to closure of A, then by that theorem every neighborhood of X intersects A, and whenever every neighborhood of X intersects A in a point different from X, then X must belongs to A prime. That's why X belongs to A union A prime. That's why X belongs to A union A prime. So here we assume X belongs to A and proved X belongs to A union prime. A union A prime. So also we assume X belongs to closure of A and prove X belongs to A union A prime. This implies what? Closure of A is contained in A union A prime. But this is happen only if X belongs to A. Now assume X does not belongs to A. So here is this case. We assume X does not belongs to A, but as X belongs to closure of A, then we know that every neighborhood U of X intersects A by that theorem. Because X does not belongs to A, then the set U must intersect A in a point different from X. Why? Because X is not a member of A. That's why it is obviously set U must intersect A in a point different from X. And if this happens, by definition of limit point, this implies X is a member of A prime. X is a member of A prime means X is limit point. So therefore, as X belongs to A and X belongs to A prime, this implies X belongs to A union A prime. But we chosen X belongs to closure of A here. So that's why here we proved in both the cases either X belongs to A or X does not belongs to A. Whenever X belongs to closure of A, then closure of A is contained in A union A prime. So using these two equalities, A union A prime contained in closure of A and closure of A is contained in A union A prime, this implies closure of A is equal to A union A prime. This completes the proof. So now suppose if I have to find what is the application of this theorem. Suppose if I have to find closure of set of rational number, that is Q bar, means closure of Q. Closure of Q is equal to what? So using this result, closure of Q is equal to Q union Q prime. Q prime means set of all limit points of Q, and we know that set of all limit points of Q is what? Set of real numbers. So Q union R is R. So therefore closure of Q is what? R. Suppose if I have to find closure of Z plus, means closure of natural set of positive integers, which is equal to Z plus union, what is the derived set for Z plus? Means set of limit points of Z plus, it is empty set. So that's why union of empty set with Z plus is Z plus. So closure of Z plus is Z plus. Similarly, if we have to find closure of R, this is equal to R union R, because set of limit points of R is R itself. That's why closure of R is R. Also remember that limit points of set of all irrational numbers is also set of real numbers. Means derived set for a set of irrational number is set of real numbers. That's why closure of irrational number, say Q complement, is set of real numbers. So if you have to find closure of any finite set, suppose here we are taking topological space as R. So whatever example I have discussed for this result, I have chosen topological space for R. Suppose if I take some finite set on the topological space R, and I wish to find closure of that finite set, then closure of that finite set is equal to that finite set A union A prime. A prime means what? Derived set, that is set of all limit points, and the set of all limit points of finite set is empty set. So that's why closure of that finite set is, with that finite set A is A union empty set, which is equal to A. So closure of any finite set is that finite set itself. So from this result we can deduct many more conclusions. Let's have a corollary. This is another definition, say definition for limit points. So this one is important. A subset of a topological space is closed if and only if it contains all of its limit points. So what? A subset of a topological space X is closed if and only if it contains all of its limit points. So set of limit points is denoted by A prime. So A is subset of topological space X, then A is said to be closed if and only if A is equal to A prime. So this is the definition, or you can treat this as a definition also. Limit points mean what? Any set A which equals to the set of all limit points of that set A, then it is called closed set. So whenever A is equals to A prime, means derived set of that set is that set itself, then we say that that set is closed. So for example, set of real number R has derived set R, because every member of R is limit points. So that's why R prime is equal to R, that's why R is closed. Similarly, set of Z plus, set of positive integer, that is Z plus. So set of all limit points means derived set of Z plus is empty set, and empty set is contained in Z plus. Empty set is contained in Z plus, that's why Z plus is closed. So whenever A prime is contained in A, then we say that that set A is closed set. So in earlier example here, A is equals to half open interval 0, 1. Its derived set is closed interval 0, 1, and that closed interval 0, 1 neither equal to A and does not contain in A. That's why this set A is not closed. From this result also we can say. Similarly here, B is equal to set 1 by n belongs to Z plus. So its derived set is singleton 0, but singleton 0 is not contained in B. That's why this set is also not closed. Here C is equals to singleton 0 union open interval 1, 2. The set of all limit points is closed interval 1, 2, but this closed interval does not contain in C. That's why this C is not closed. Similarly, set of all limit points of a rational number set Q is R itself, but R is not contained in Q. That's why Q is not closed. Here Z plus, the set of positive integer, has no limit point, means it's a prime set, that is a derived set, is empty set, and empty set is contained in Z plus, that's why Z plus is closed set. Similarly, R plus is not closed, as 0 is not contained in R plus and 0 belongs to derived set. So that's why R plus is not closed set. So this set of real number R is both open and closed set. Set of real number R is both open and closed. So this we proved. So from this corollary also we can say whether the set is closed or not. So whenever set of limit points contained in that set, then such set is closed set. Definition of Hausdorff spaces. So I mean to say this corollary you can treat as not definition of limit points, sorry. You can treat this corollary as for closed set definition. So let's have definition of Hausdorff spaces. A topological space X is called Hausdorff space if for each pair x1 and x2 of distinct point of X, there exist neighborhoods u1 and u2 for x1 and x2 respectively that are disjoint. This means any topological space, in any topological space X, if x1 and x2, that is x1 not equals to x2, and u1 is neighborhood of x1, u2 is neighborhood of x2, if intersection of u1 and u2 is empty, means u1 intersection u2 is empty, then that space X is called Hausdorff spaces. So whenever x1 not equals to x2 from topological space X, then there exist neighborhoods u1 and u2 of x1 and x2 respectively, such that u1 intersection u2 is empty. This means u1 and u2 must be disjoint. Then only we say that X is a Hausdorff space. Remember here condition x1 not equals to x2. Let's have a theorem. So before proving theorem, remember that the concept of limit points are renamed by in another books as a point of accumulation or cluster point. So limit point has another name, cluster point or accumulation point. So let's have theorem. Every finite point set in a Hausdorff space is closed. Every finite point set in Hausdorff space X is closed. So let's have proof. So let me introduce this Hausdorff. This is the Felix Hausdorff. He is a mathematician, one of the best and eminent mathematician, Hausdorff. He defined his space by exposing some conditions. Conditions means this condition that u1 intersection u2 must be empty for distinct points in topological space. Using this condition, he defined new space and renamed his own name Hausdorff spaces. So in a real line on a sequence of real line and R2 space, sequence can converge only one point, but in arbitrary spaces sequence may converge more than one points. So but exposing some condition on that, Hausdorff generate some new theorems, and he whatever the condition he exposed, he give his space Hausdorff space. So let's have a proof now. Every finite point set in a Hausdorff space X is closed. So it's simple proof. It is sufficient to show that every one point set, singleton set x0 is closed. So if we prove this x0 is closed set, then it is enough. If x is a point of x different from x0, that is x0 equals to x0, then x and x0 have disjoint neighborhoods of u and v, because x is what? Topological space, sorry, Hausdorff space. So that's why if x0 equals to x0, then as it is a Hausdorff space, there exist neighborhoods u and v respectively of x and x0, such that they are disjoint, means u intersection v is empty set. Since u does not intersect x0, here u is not set, here u is neighborhood. Since u does not intersect x0, then the point x cannot belong to the closure of the set x0, but the closure of the set x0 is x0 itself, because it is singleton set. That's why it is closed sets. That's why it is closed set. Whatever the condition that the finite point sets are closed is called T1 axiom. So the condition that the finite point sets are closed is the T1 axiom. So in earlier definition, after defining that theorem, closure of A is equals to A union A prime, I discussed by using some examples, discussed that every finite set is closed set, because closure of A is closed set, closure of A is closed set. So using that theorem also I concluded that every finite set is closed set. Every countable set need not be closed. For example, set of rational number. Set of rational number is countable set, but it is not closed. Why? Because it does not contains its set of limit points. Q does not contains R. That's why Q is not closed. So every finite set is closed, but every countable set need not be closed. Similarly, uncountable set need not be closed. R is uncountable set, but it is closed set because R contains its derived set. But set of irrational number, that is Q complement, is an uncountable set, but it is not closed. Why? Because it does not contains its derived set, and its derived set is what? Set of real number. R is not contained in Q complement. That's why uncountable set need not be closed. Now let's have a theorem. Let X be a space satisfying T1 axiom. Let A be a subset of X. Then the point X is a limit point of A if and only if every neighborhood of X contains infinitely many points of A. Here X be a space satisfying the T1 axiom means every finite point set in X is closed. Let A be a subset of X. Then the point X is limit point of A. X is what? X is point from X, and this X is limit point of A if and only if every neighborhood of X contains infinitely many points of A. So this statement is similar to somewhat definition of limit points, but not exactly equal statement, but possesses same meaning. So we prove this theorem in next lecture. So remember, focus on the definition of limit points and examples. Also, whatever the conclusion I said, study on that to better understand of definition of limit points and concept of limit points. Thank you very much.